invoke the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, to this session, to be with us, to hold the energy and the space for all of us as we traverse to this class today. Please hold your hands in Anjali Mudra. Nityanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tvam Namami. Great. So once again, welcome. Welcome all of you for this amazing session. Just note that the moment the session starts, you are no longer the body, the being that you were a few seconds ago. And allow this transformation to happen in you. Yoga is not just about moving the body, moving your hands and legs, but it is a spiritual practice. So it's a spiritual practice. It is you communing with your body for a higher purpose in your life. And so open yourself up to immense possibilities that will happen for you, for prosperity, well-being, the right body, right health, both physical and mental. And allow that bliss to happen within you. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is a very, very, very important proponent of yoga, yogic practices. And through Nityananda Yoga and the Vinyasa Kramas that he has shared now with the world, millions of people are benefiting from including yoga as their daily routine. Through the nation of Kailasa, the United States of Kailasa, Swamiji is continuing his efforts to bring yoga and meditation and the right practices to life through Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Without further ado, I will invite Sri Vaidishwaraya to please introduce and to share a few words, and then we will go on to hearing directly from Swamiji about yoga and about Kailasa. Vaidishwaraya.
Yes, so welcome everyone. We're very happy to have you here for Yoga Day. Mamutika has nicely introduced. We're going to play a few videos. First, a brief video on what is authentic yoga, because there's lots of other yogas that are not in the highest authenticity out there. But how yoga was conceived and what it's for as a spiritual practice. And then a video about Kailasa, which is the nation that our Guru Swamiji, we call him, SPH, Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, has started to create a space for people to raise in consciousness through authentic yogic and Hindu practices. And then another video of, again, our Guru speaking about what yoga really means. It's not about us connecting with the divine, it's about the divine landing in this physical body, so that the divine can act through this body and make the world a divine place. So that's a 15-minute video. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about some technical things related to the practice we're going to do. And then we'll get into it. Okay? So very happy to have you guys. Let's start the videos. Afterwards, of course, there will be an amazing lunch. And you're welcome to stay. There's also a new volunteer orientation. So if anyone is interested to talk about volunteer.
Yoga's become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food, and everyone is looking to get their share. be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your conscience. Yoga has become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food. And everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your consciousness. When you're practicing authentic yoga, you're working with an independent intelligence, a science to awaken the inner potential energy within you. When you add your own twist to yoga, it changes this internal process and brings a different effect on your physiology, psychology, and neurology. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the original source of yoga has been lost, and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their context have completely disappeared from the mainstream practice. Yoga is not just about asanas, but aligning the body to the cosmic geometry and experiencing different states and dimensions. To miss this context is missing the whole purpose of yoga. Adiyogi, Sadashiva, is the creator of yoga. He delivered the original yogic scriptures through the Vedas and Agamas as a way to experience the ultimate through our bodies. After the revelation of yoga by Sadashiva himself, great yogis and sadhus practiced yoga to acquire the best physique and physiology to manifest the state and powers of Sadashiva. This is authentic yoga. Agoris, sadhus, sannyasis have always exemplified the yogic powers and demonstrated incredible feats. As recently as a few centuries back, powerful yogis roamed the earth shamelessly showcasing these powers. However, an unknown enemy violently attacked the very foundation of Hinduism. Fueled by the desire for power and control, strategic acts of pillaging, mass starvation, and cultural genocide cheated the modern Hindu into believing their own history as mythology. Today, we live in a society where child obesity has become accepted, cancer is almost anticipated, and depression and suicide is at an all-time high. This is a distant sight from the peak of human potential described in the Vedas and Agamas. Ramamsa Nityananda, the cosmos itself, landed as a lightning bolt and revived the authentic yoga from the source. He is taking humans and making them superhumans with yogic bodies meant for manifesting powers. For the first time, Swamiji is reintroducing the Shastra Pramanas and reviving the purest form of yoga. He has already collected, preserved, translated, and delivered to the world many of the original yogic scriptures, which were virtually inaccessible. He is the only being teaching yoga based on authentic Hindu Shastras, and it is the only yoga for manifesting Shaktis, the amazing powers of Sadashiva. As a lifelong yogi and avatar, Swamiji is able to give an experiential understanding to his disciples by transmitting the state and space of a yogi. With 2 world records in Shivastambha Yoga and Kundalini Raju Yoga, he is taking the world of yoga by storm. He has published 108 plus Nitya Kriyas, 900 plus yogic asanas, 300 plus yogic techniques, 600 meditation techniques, and much more. He has tens of thousands of initiated yogis worldwide. He continues to give breakthroughs to all his disciples by initiating them into new yogic powers. His vision is to make Nityananda Yoga the certifying authority on yoga as per the Vedic scriptures, to bring authenticity back to the practice. He will have thousands of Nityananda Yoga acharyas ordained to share this authentic science with the world. And to verify everything with Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana, he intends to build the world's largest library of yogic techniques authenticated by the yogic scriptures. He is establishing yoga as a powerful science to explore your possibilities, manifest Shaktis, and explore the 25 states of consciousness and 11 dimensions of the universe.
Around 5,000 years ago, at the end of Mahabharat War, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization consisted of 10,000 Hindu traditions, or sampradayas, that existed in 56 Hindu nations, 200 Hindu kingdoms, 1,700 Hindu provinces that covered more than 6 million kilometers square of Asia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, this ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. Kailasa is an unbroken cultural, religious, historical, civilizational, and sovereign continuation and revival of multiple of these historical Hindu sovereign states and Hindu ecclesiastical entities. The unbroken continuity of these ancient Hindu nations through Kailasa results in the legal recognition of Kailasa as per the international customary law, particularly the doctrine of continuity. The international law, the doctrine of continuity, implies that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations do not negate the existence of the country, do not affect the legal personality and international obligations of the country or state. The Vienna Convention on Succession of States in respect of treaties, 1978, addresses these principles of the doctrine of continuity as it outlines international law during situation of state succession or continuation. International law recognizes a state's legal personality by recognizing its identity. This perspective extends even during the period when the given state or country is annexed or occupied by a foreign power. Even in such cases, the legal personality of the state is considered to persist, enabling its subsequent re-establishment. Historical examples dating back to the 18th century include cases like Portugal and Genoa that were re-established after the Vienna Congress of 1815. More recent examples include countries such as Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, and Austria that were re-established after World War II. Even when a nation is deprived of its territory, the nation continues to exist. Its sovereignty and international legal personality continues to persist. The Dalai Lama, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet, exemplifies this principle. In 1959, the Dalai Lama was exiled and forced to flee. Despite the challenges faced, the Dalai Lama continues to advocate for the preservation of Tibetan culture and garners worldwide support for Tibetan autonomy on the global stage. Similarly, from 1309 to 1376, the Pope of Catholicism had been in exile in Avignon. Despite this, he was recognized as the head of state as well as head of the church and given full privileges of the position after their return to Rome. Even in 1861, much of the papal territories had been lost, leaving the Pope with no sovereign territory other than the papal residence and related buildings. Yet his temporal powers were still acknowledged. He was recognized as a head of state, and later, the Lateran Treaty of 1929 formally re-established papal sovereignty over the Vatican City. The Sovereign Order of Malta further exemplifies this principle, retaining international recognition as a sovereign entity despite the permanent loss of their territory upon Napoleon's invasion in June 1798. Despite such permanent loss of territory, the sovereignty and the international legal personality of the Sovereign Order of Malta continue to persist. Much later in 1894, the order settled in Rome and acquired two properties, the Magistral Palace and the Magistral Villa that received extraterritorial status. Today, the order maintains diplomatic relations with 112 countries, issues its own diplomatic passports, currency, stamps, and vehicle registration plates, and has been granted observer status in the United Nations. All these examples of state re-establishment illustrate the principle of continuity of states, as per international law, that a state's legal personality persists over time. A nation continues to exist even after a complete loss of territory. A far more striking example is of the oceanic countries, which are under the threat of their entire nation being drowned and submerged due to rising sea levels owing to global warming. In response to such existential threat of climate change, Pacific Island nations, including Tuvalu, have enacted constitutional amendments and made international declarations affirming that their nation and their sovereign rights will continue to persist, despite their entire territory being lost to the sea. This proactive stance is highlighted in the Constitution of Tuvalu Act 2023 and the Pacific Islands Forum Declaration of 2021. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, through the line of succession is the present 203rd Emperor of the Hindu Sovereign Kingdom of Surangi Samrajya. He was crowned on the 31st of December 2004 at the age of 26. Thus, by very same principles of the doctrine of continuity, through which the international legal personality of Portugal, Genoa, Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, Austria, Vatican, Tibet, Sovereign Order of Malta, and several other nations has been recognized despite having undergone a period of exile, annexation, occupation by a foreign power, or despite loss of territory. The SPH Nityananda Paramashivam, through well-established legal and historical facts about the Hindu sovereign state of the Surangi Samrajyam, derives all sovereign rights and powers of the royal lineage of the Surangi Samrajyam as its 203rd sovereign emperor from his inheritance and continuation of the unbroken succession of the kingdom of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam Sarvanapitha. Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, through unification with 20 other sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical, historical entities, became part of the United States of Kailasa, which thus became a sovereign, independent juridical state, with the SPH Nityananda Paramashivam as the sovereign. Just as how the oceanic nations like Tuvalu have safeguarded their sovereignty from the existential threat of total submersion by amending their constitution and asserting that their sovereignty will persist regardless of the loss of their territory, Kailasa, which is a sovereign continuation of 21 sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical historical entities, is also reviving and continuing the Kumari Kandam Hindu nations that got submerged. As per the doctrine of continuity, these facts imply that the Kailasa's statehood is recognized by international law and manifests as a natural outcome of well-established historical legal facts. Share your time, talent, and treasure. Become part of Kailasa. Sign up as an eCitizen https://kailasa.ecitizen.info
Yoga. How many ever times I define this word will remain as a mystery. I'll try to define once more. Yoga is the science which makes the divine to connect with you. Listen, not you to divine. No. Not drop into ocean, but ocean into drop. Understand, nowhere yoga is described as union between man and divine. Even Patanjali says yoga chitta vritti nirodha, means he is not saying yoga is mind getting dissolved. No. Cessation of the mind. Not heart attack, but cardiac arrest. There's a difference. If a man merges into divine, dissolving the mind. Patanjali is not using that word. He says, chitta vritti nirodha, cessation of the mind, means divine entered the man. Only if divine enters the man, cessation happens. If a man enters into divine, dissolving may happen. Understand, it is not drop entering into ocean, ocean entering into drop. Yoga is union of divine with man. Understand, look at the whole yoga and yoga sutras, yoga shastras from this one understanding. You will understand what I want to reveal by the name of yoga. Everything of yoga, yama, don't see as moral or values. No. It is freedom of ferociousness. Brahmacharya is not moral or value. It is freedom of your ferociousness. Aparigraha is not moral or value. It is just ferocious response to this whole cheating economy. I'll tell you, if you think man to divine, you will be man forever. Even after 90 years of spiritual practice, you will look back and remain. The day I started, what kind of anger, jealousy, lust, all the problems I had, the same thing still I am having. I don't know when I am going to progress spiritually. You will die with SDHD. Never man to divine. It is always divine to man. The beginning Shaktipada should be very clear. Your divinity merging into your humanity is your yoga, not your human side merging into your divine side. Understand? Precisely in my Atma Pramana, I will tell you yoga. What is yoga? I have given you what Patanjali describes, and I will tell you what is precisely from my Atma Pramana. Strong cognitions exploding into your system and changing your whole brain's alchemy, putting you in the space beyond any description is yoga from my experience. The cognition, right cognition can just shake your brain. It can just churn your brain and release such intense ecstasy into your system. That ecstasy builds the whole new body. Understand? Asanas are to align your physical geography to cosmic geography, develop roots so you can continue to enjoy that higher ecstasy. Ultimately, yoga is only this two component. Through the intense, powerful cognitions, making this ecstasy rain happen in your brain and flexing your body, aligning it so it grows the roots to retain and continue to enjoy that ecstasy, that alchemy happening in your brain. Understand, listen carefully. Yoga is just these two components. It's only these two components. Understand the whole field of yoga should be studied from this lens. Divine entering into man. Powerful cognition is the way divine enters into you first. Whenever there is a powerful cognitions inserted into your system, you are initiated by your guru. Even if you are initiated by one powerful cognition by the guru, after that you can never fall into delusion, slumber. The part of your brain which puts you in apasmara, total delusion, through bhava, is permanently damaged by the initiation of the guru. So you can never ever fall into the apasmara, into the delusion again forever. If at all you go towards that space of Sushupta Sushupti, he comes in between in the form of his initiation and you are back. I tell you, yoga is from divine to man. The energy of the divine gushes through the master into your system through as a powerful cognition. Understand? Yoga starts when you get a powerful cognition which hits your brain so strongly. Alcohol, drugs, opium, marijuana, all will look as silly. This powerful cognition hits you with such strength. Simply, cessation of the mind happens as initiation. Whether you know it or not, you are going to realize you are Amritasya Putra, sons of immortality. The Putra word, if I look a little deep, I will not even translate as son, I will translate as extension. I will not even translate as son, I will translate as extension. Understand. This is the major difference between yoga of Vedas and Agamas and the yoga of modern day Bogamas. And I wanted to insist on one more important point. Please understand, yoga is ritual. This is one of the important revolution statement I am making. Yoga is not spiritual. Yoga is ritual. You have to do Achamana. You have to invoke Sadashiva. Only then you start doing yoga. Biggest problem in the modern day is amputated yoga. The angas of yoga is cut and packaged. Amputated yoga is the most danger to the modern day. We need to give the original yoga as it is complete to the world. As Sadashiva wanted, as Maschendranatha, Gorakhnatha, Patanjali, all of them taught, yoga need to be taken to the world as original. As original, understand. Mahadeva declares at least in 4 places. In 4 places, Mahadeva declares, Mahasadashiva declares very clearly, anybody who does the yoga systematically as per his guidance, literally having cosmic union with him. It is called Mahamudra. Understand? When these original verses are chanted and yoga is practiced, when Shaktipada happens, Kundalini is awakened. You imbibe his very DNA. You manifest his very DNA.
Welcome to the Pratama Vinyasa Krama 108 Asana sequence of Nityananda Yoga. Before we start the yoga session, we request all the male bodies to please remove your upper cloth, for yoga is a ritual, and male bodies remove the upper cloth for any Hindu. Welcome to the Pratama Vinyasa Krama 108 Asana sequence of Nityananda Yoga. Before we start the yoga session, we request all the male bodies to please remove your upper cloth, for yoga is a ritual, and male bodies remove the upper cloth for any Hindu ritual. All the female bodies, please tie up your hair, and we request all the participants to please wear a black dress, apply vibhuti on your forehead. If you are a male body, apply it on the 16 places over your body. Apply kumkum and any aushadha from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism you have available. Wear your Rudraksha mala, the abharanam, to intensify the energy which you can hold throughout the yoga practice. Also, make sure to keep a Shri Yantra, which is a sacred mandala, in your room where you practice the yoga. If you don't have a Shri Yantra available, don't worry. We are protecting it in the background of our acharyas. Now settle down on your yoga mat and get ready for the ritual of yoga. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Close your eyes. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Sadguru Vandanam.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrasham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Next, we are going to chant the Shiva Mula mantra. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha 11 times. Please follow along internally.
Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha.
We will be performing the Tadvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing. Now keep your hand, the right hand, in the shape of a cow's ear in the Gokarana Mudra, as our acharyas are demonstrating. Then take an udani of water, pour it into your right palm. We're going to chant a mantra thrice. Each time, sip the water from the bottom of your palm whenever the word Swadha is chanted.
Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swadham.
Take another udani of water.
Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Swadham.
Pour another udani of water into your palm.
Om Shivadattvam Shodhayami Swadham.
Now wash your right hand with the water from the Panchapacham and wipe your lips twice with the bottom of your thumb as we chant.
Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha.
Now wash your hand again. With the index, middle and ring fingers joined together, touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hand again. With the index fingers and thumbs joined together, touch the right nostril, the left nostril. And with the ring finger and thumb joined together, touch the right eye, left eye, and the right ear and the left ear. Wash your hand again. With the little finger and thumb joined together, touch the navel, the right chest and the left chest. And with all fingertips joined together, touch on top of the head the right shoulder, left shoulder, and your heart center. Now wash your hand again. As you clasp the right hand over top of the left, place both hands on the right thigh. Set the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, what it is that you want to manifest today in today's Nityananda Yoga session as we chant the Sankalpa mantra.
ॐ ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम च अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभदितौ पूर्ण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
Now wash your hand once more as we chant.
ओम अपौपस्पृश्य.
Keep your Panchapatram and Udani out of harm's way as we are getting ready to start the yoga. Now sit in a comfortable cross-legged position with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring the index fingers and thumbs joined together on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra. Engage the three bandhas, the energy locks, which are contracting the perineal region and pulling it in and up. The Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, contracting your stomach muscles and pulling your stomach in and up towards your spine. And the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, tucking your chin to the chest and internally contracting your throat muscles. Together they form Mahamudra Bandha, which is a great secret of the yogic practice and will enhance your yoga practice manifold. Next up is the visualization. Hold the visualization for the right context of each of the asanas. The first visualization is Lord Shiva. You will always be able to see the visualization in the top right corner of the screen. So whenever you don't know how the visualization looks, you can just check the screen. Next up is Samana Kumbhaka. Now fill your stomach with prana as you meditate on a flame in your stomach, kindling the prana and raising up your spine. Chant the japa soham and visualize it rotating around your throat until the nectar oozes out into your body. Let us now perform the first asana, which is Sukhasana.
तत्सुखासनमित्युक्तम् अशक्तस्तत्समाचरेत् आसनं विजितं येन जितं तेन जगत्त्रयम्.
The next asana is Parvatasana. Now bring your legs into Padmasana with the feet on top of the opposite thighs. Then bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head, keeping your elbows straight. Engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha, as you visualize yourself as Mount Kailash.
अथ वक्षे महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलम्.
The next asana is Halipavasana. Now bring the soles of your feet together in front of your body and hold the left hand by the right behind your back. As you lean forward and place your forehead on the ground behind your heels. Engage all three bandhas as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्वविधियाहु मे जानो उभय पकतली संपुटठानो.
The next asana is Nagi Pavasana. Now keep the soles of your feet together and stretch your hands out in front of the feet, cupping your palms, placing them down on the ground as you place your forehead on the ground behind your heels. Engage all three bandhas and gaze to the tip of your nose, visualizing yourself as a snake.
पूर्वविधि पर्यागाने नीचौ वेकहुनि फनास्यो लगाई.
Next up is Kailasa. Now hold the big toes with the index and middle fingers in Prana Mudra. Then raise the legs up straight and then cross them into Padmasana, leaning forward and down onto your elbows. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize yourself as a bird.
स्थान्यदासनं वक्ष्ये येन सिद्धो भवेन्नरः.
The next asana is Neti Asana. Now place one ankle on top of the opposite knee as you hold onto the opposite elbows. Engage all the wonders, rotate your arms in a circle, and gaze to the nose, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space, and after some time, change the direction of the movement.
घोड़ा बामा पादगी आशमाहिली सोये दधि चरण को वार लोता परिकुल्फ समोय.
The next asana is Gajasana. Now press your hands onto the ground, lifting your hips up high. Lower your head, then your chest, scooping the body forward and down again and again as you visualize yourself as an elephant. And perform Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock, as you do so.
युग्जं पादाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भूया मस्तकाग्रे निधाय.
The next asana is Vrikshasana. From the same position, alternate pressing the heel of one foot into the ground while lifting the other heel up. Visualize yourself as a bear as you keep Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha engaged.
एकैकं पादमाकुञ्च्य गजासनं कुर्यात् वृक्षासनं भवति.
The next asana is Vaishyasana. Now stand tall on the mat with the tips of the on the tips of the big toes, with all other toes raised off the ground. As you keep your head, neck, and spine in a straight line, and bring your index, middle, and ring fingers to the heart center in Hridaya Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
केशेन पादयुगलं बद्ध्वा तिष्ठेत अधोमुखः.
Next up is the Urdhva Janukarana. Stand with your heels touching, toes facing outwards at a 45-degree angle, and the knees bend in Arimandi. Now, bring both hands to the chest with the elbows parallel to the ground. Then lift one knee up towards the center of your body, followed along with the respective hand as you make circular motions on both sides again and again. The next asana is Balalingasana. Now interlace your fingers from the outside in Sarvashankari Mudra and hold on to one knee, pulling it up towards your chest. Keep your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and visualize yourself holding a baby as you engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha.
एकं जानूरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
You move on to Padapidanasana. Now take the foot and pull it behind towards your buttocks. Hold it with both hands. Be straight. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
एकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुम्.
The next asana is Natarajasana. Standing on one leg, hold on to one foot and extend it backwards as you lean forward and stretch your arm out in front in Bindu Mudra with the index finger and thumb touching as you visualize yourself dancing as Lord Nataraja and perform the Mula Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now stand on the other leg and repeat Balalingasana on the other side, pulling the knee up towards your chest and visualize yourself caressing a baby.
एकं जानूरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Now repeat Padapidanasana on the other side. Pull the other foot towards your buttocks and visualize Swamiji in your inner space, engaging all three bandhas.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुम्.
Now repeat Natarajasana on the other side, visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja.
पादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is the Artha Rechitakarana. From Arimandi position, Bring the right foot behind the other with the toes down and the heel up. Keep the left hand at the chest and swing the right arm back and forth, gracefully moving the fingers one by one. Now keep the right hand over top of the nose, uncross your ankles, and repeat the movement on the other side. Next up is the skeleton dance. Now visualize yourself as a skeleton as you shake your body intensely. We move on to Karana. From Arimandi, with the heels together, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent. Bring your hands above your head with the arms crossed, palms facing backwards. Now open your hips to one side and open the arms along above your head. Return to the center and repeat the movement on both sides again and again. The next asana is Tadasana. Now stand tall on the tips of the big toes as you raise your hands up above your head, beside your ears. Engage all three bandhas. Visualize yourself as a palm tree as you internally chant the new japa Shivoham.
महामुद्राबद्ध कोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान्.
Next up is Uttanasana. From a standing position, lean forward and down, bringing your hands flat to the ground. Take precaution in the case that you are a pregnant woman. For pregnant women shouldn't perform any of the forward bends. Now engage all three bandhas and bring your forehead towards the knees as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
महामुद्राबद्ध कोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान्.
The next asana is Tadakshvasana, the plank position. Now lower your body down onto your arms and feet as you tuck your chin to the chest and rotate your head from side to side, contracting your perineal region. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep breathing in the Samana Kumbhaka, filling your stomach with prana and visualizing a flame rising up your spine.
गजासनवस्थित्वा मस्तकं वारं वारं दक्षिणकुक्षिं सव्यकुक्षिं नजेत्.
The next asana is Bhujangasana. Now lower your entire body down onto your stomach as you keep the toes pointing backwards and your hands next to the chest. Now raise your head up using the strength of your lower back. Don't lift your body any higher than your belly button up. And open your mouth wide as you inhale through the hollow of your throat in Bhujangani Mudra. Visualize yourself as a cobra as you perform the Mula Bandha.
अंगुष्ठनाभिपर्यन्तम् अधोभूमौ विनिन्यसेत्.
The next asana is Shashasana. Now push your body up back into plank position and alternate bringing one knee in towards your chest back and forth as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
जासन संस्थितो जानुद्वयमाकुञ्च्य वारं वारं कर्तव्यं शशासनं भवति.
The next asana is Rathasana. From a tall plank position, place one foot in between the two hands as you simultaneously jump one foot back and bring the other one in between the hands. Alternate again and again as you visualize yourself as a chariot.
गजासन संस्थितो एकैकं पादं पुरोमार्गेण भ्रामयित्वा कर्तव्यं रथासनं भवति.
The next asana is Vidavajrasana. Now keep one foot flat on the ground with the toes pointing forwards and the knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Now extend the other leg back, keep the knee straight and the toes pointed outwards. Raise your arms up parallel, pull the stomach in and up and gaze to your third eye, visualizing yourself as Lord Vidavajra as you perform Ujjana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
आशिष्टमदकौण्डिन्यमूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
Now exchange the position of your feet and repeat Viravatasana on the other side.
मदकौण्डिन्यमूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
The next asana is Vrikshasana, the tree posture. Now stand and bring one foot to the inner thigh as you bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head. Keep your elbows straight as you gaze forward and visualize yourself as a tree.
अमोरुमूलदेशे च जाम्यं पादं निधायतु.
The next asana is Garudasana. Now bring the raised leg to the opposite hip. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda and engage the Mula Bandha.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
Now stand on your other leg and repeat Vrikshasana on the other side.
वामोरुमूलदेशे च जाम्यं पादं निधायतु.
Now repeat Garudasana on the other side, keeping the standing leg as straight as a rod and visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
The next asana is Trikonasana. Now stand and step one leg forward and the other one far back, keeping the front toes pointing forwards and the back toes facing sideways. Now bring your hands parallel to the ground and lean forward and down as you keep one hand down and the other one raised up. Gaze upwards, visualizing yourself as a triangle as you perform the Mula Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Exchange the position of your feet. Step the other leg forward as you repeat Trikonasana on the other side.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is the Nikuttaka Karana. From Arimandi position, heels touching, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent, raise one heel off the ground and bring your hands in front of the heart center with the palms facing each other. Now stump the rest heel to the ground, raise the other heel up and exchange the position of your hands again and again. The next asana is Angushtasana. Now lower your body down onto the tips of your toes, placing the perineum on the back of your heels. Raise your knees off the ground and keep them together as you join your palms in front of your heart center in Namaskara Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you breathe in Brahmari Kumbhaka, buzzing like a bee on the inhalation and exhalation as you perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant the Nurjapa Sada Shivoham.
बन्धासनमित्याहुः गोरक्षासनमेव च.
The next asana is Saurasana. From the tips of the toes, extend one leg straight out with the heel down and the toes up. Keep your fingers down on the ground by the sides with the palms facing forward in Vara Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
The next asana is Vidunanasana. Now, from Saurasana, lean forward and hold on to the big toe in Prana Mudra. As you hold the back heel with the other hand, balance. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
गुल्फस्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Stretch the other leg forward as you repeat Saurasana on the other side.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Now again, lean forward and down, holding on to the front foot and the back heel. Repeating Vidunanasana on the other side.
स्थितो पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
The next asana is Brahmajarankushasana. As you keep the toes on the ground and the perineum placed on top of the heels, which are raised off the ground, keep a gap between your legs and place the back of your hands on top of the respective knees. Contract the perineal region and tuck your chin to the chest as you gaze in between the two hands in Shambhavi Mudra with eyes opened wide, unblinking, actually gazing within as you visualize Swamiji within and perform the Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha.
दो भना पानी होय वैसे एड़ी मेल रघुदानी वैसे.
The next asana is Kapilasana. Now drop your knees to the ground with the toes tucked behind, sitting your perineum on the heels. As you keep your hands on top of the respective thighs and pull your stomach in and up, contract the perineal region, gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize yourself as Sage Kapila Muni.
उभय पगदली समटारावे तिनकी माहली कोर मिलावे.
The next asana is Bhadragodakasana. Maintain the same position as you shift your gaze up to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you buzz like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka.
दो वो पगदली संपुट करे कोरवारली भूपरि धरे.
The next asana is Suryasana. Now sit with your toes tucked, perineum placed on top of the raised heels as you bring your thumbs and little fingers together in Padma Mudra, opening up the palms resembling a lotus flower. Now raise your hands up above your head as you gaze up in between the gap between the palms, visualizing yourself as Lord Surya.
एड़ी दो गुदातरी आने फना पानी बैठक अब निठाने.
The next asana is Mandukasana. Now sit with the toes flat, perineum on the heels. As you keep your hands on top of the knees, lift the tongue up against the roof of your mouth. As you catch the nectar of immortality dripping from the Sahasrara chakra with your frog tongue, as you visualize yourself as a frog in Manduki Mudra. Gaze to your third eye, breathe calmly through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka as you perform the Mula Bandha.
तलो पृष्ठ देशे अंगुष्ठे द्वे च संस्पृशेत.
The next asana is Uttana Mandukasana. Maintain the same sitting posture, but bring your hands behind your back, holding onto the opposite shoulders. Gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a frog as you keep your tongue pressed against the palate of your mouth in Manduki Mudra. Perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha as you do so.
मंडूकासन मध्यस्थम कुर्पराभ्याम धृतम शिरः.
The next asana is Simhasana. Now cross your ankles and sit on your feet. As you keep the knees wide, fingers spread on top of the knees, open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue and exhale forcefully as you gaze at the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as a lion.
दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्फेन दक्षिणेन ततेतरम्.
The next asana is Bhadrasana. Now sit with your heels under the perineum, the knees opened wide, then cross your hands behind your back and hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. As you gaze to the tip of your nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and return to buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka.
गुल्फौ च वृषणस्याधो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
The next asana is Kakapusandhi asana. Now squat and keep the feet flat on the ground as you keep your knees opened wide and bring your arms in and around the raised knees. Interlace your fingers behind your back if you can. As you visualize yourself as a crow and gaze to the tip of your nose as you engage the Mula Bandha.
तमे वेशक उगट ठाने दो वो हाथ पगमी च आने.
The next asana is Kanipavasana. Now keep the palms on the floor, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees onto the back of your arms towards your armpits. Lean forward, raise your feet off the ground as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and balance on your arms.
को गुण आशी दुष्यता होई तो आछी होई.
The next asana is Kapali Asana. Now place your hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring the top of your head onto the ground. Please take precautions if you have any neck injuries or high blood pressure. Any of the inverted postures. Now bring your knees onto the elbows, your hips over the shoulders, and straighten your legs up as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ईशा धरती टेकी पग दो वो मिलीवा ऊंचा कुकरे.
The next asana is Parshvamayurasana. Now squat on the toes with the legs together, twist your body and place both hands to the side as you align your elbows with the knee and hip and lean onto your arms, balance, extending your legs to the side. Gaze to your third eye as you visualize yourself as a peacock and exhale fully in Rechaka Kumbhaka as you hold your breath in the exhaled state. Perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
मयूरं दंडवत् कुर्यान् मायूरं दंड नामकम्.
Now twist your body in the other direction and repeat Parshvamayurasana on the other side.
मयूरं दंडवत् कुर्यान् मायूरं दंड नामकम्.
The next asana is Bhairaganathasana. Now place both hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. Stretch your legs back straight into Tadakshvasana, the plank position. As you step one foot outside the respective shoulder and bring it in between the two hands. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as Lord Kala Vaidava. As you breathe in your Rechaka Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha.
आसन की गुण पीती जागी.
Now step the front foot back and step the other foot outside the shoulder in between the hands. Gaze to your third eye in Shambhavi Mudra with the eyes open wide, unblinking, as you visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava.
आसन को गुण पीती जाई.
The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana. From Tadakshvasana, the plank position, bring your forearms down on the ground as you walk your feet forward, raising your hips. Lift your chest and head up and gaze to your third eye, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
भून्यस्थो जानुनी हस्तौ चतुष्पदम वाङ्मुखम्.
The next asana is Vashishthasana. From Tadakshvasana, rotate your body onto one hand and raise the opposite hand up. Keep the balancing hand directly beneath your shoulder as you raise your hips and gaze up towards the sky, visualizing yourself as Sage Vashishta as you perform the Mula Bandha.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठ मरीचि हलमत्स्यकम्.
Now twist your body in the other direction. Balance on the other hand as you repeat Vashishthasana.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठ मरीचि हलमत्स्यकम्.
Now come to a seated position and extend your legs out in front with the heel down and the toes pointing up. Now bring your hands under the buttocks with the palms facing up. Keep your spine straight, elbows close to your body. Tuck your chin to the chest. Contract the perineal region. As you gaze to the nose, visualize yourself as Lord Hanuman and internally chant the new japa Maha Sadashivoham.
दो बूकर की उभय हथेली कोरवार ली मैले भेली.
Next up is Paschimottanasana. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you lean forward and down, holding onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Perform Mahamudra Bandha, all three bandhas engaged, and exhale all the air from your lungs in Lichaka Kumbhaka.
जानु बरिललाटन्तो पश्चिमं दानमुच्यते.
The next asana is Ugrasana, with your legs straight. Interlace your fingers behind your neck. Lean your chest forward and down, bringing your head to the knees by the strength of your core. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize Kali in your inner space.
शुभानिभ्यां दृढं धृत्वा जानुभरि शिरोन्यसेत्.
The next asana is Marichi Asana. Now, sit with the legs extended, bring one heel to the groin with the knee raised, and reach your arm in and around the raised knee as you clasp your hands behind your back. Bring your chest to the thighs, head to the knee, and visualize yourself as Sage Marichi.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now drop the knee down to the ground and lean forward, holding onto the front foot with both hands. As you exhale all the air from your lungs, gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji, and perform Mahamudra Bandha in Mahamudrasana.
मुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
Now extend the other leg out. Bring the other heel towards the perineum with the knee raised. As you lean forward and interlace your fingers behind your back in Marichi Asana on the other side.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now drop the knee down, lean forward, hold onto the foot, engage all three bandhas, repeating Mahamudrasana on the other side.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
The next asana is Bhadrasana 2. As you sit and bring the soles of the feet together with your heels close to the perineum, keep your knees wide, hold your feet firmly with both hands, and maintain a straight spine as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उल्भौतो वृषणस्यादः सीवन्त्याः पार्श्वयोः क्षिपेत्.
The next asana is Gvalipavasana. From Bhadrasana, extend your feet away from your body. Keep the toes together, heels apart, knees wide open. As you place your hands on the respective knees, tuck your chin to the chest and gaze to the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Perform the Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha.
पूर्वचरपट चौक कख्यो सोजी वाही विधियो की जे सोई.
The next asana is Joni Asana. Now sit, keep the soles of the feet together and the heels close to your perineum as you visualize the Yoni Mandala, which is projected on the screen. Now hold the soles of the feet as you lean forward and down and bring the forehead to the feet as you gaze to the nose and perform the Mula Bandha.
दोगु बगतली संपुट करे एड़ी मेड़ के ढिंग धरे.
The next asana is Midaki Pavasana. As you sit and keep the heels together, toes apart and the knees wide, lean forward and down and extend your hands out to the side. Keep the palms facing down on the ground to the sides as you bring your forehead to the ground behind your heels. Gaze to your nose, visualize Swamiji and perform the Mula Bandha.
पूर्व विधि परिबगधली संपुट शोल एड़ी मिली राशे.
Next up is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Now sit and keep the toes together, heels apart, as you bring your arms below the shins, extend them out to the sides and keep the palms facing up. Bring your forehead to the ground above your feet as you bring your toes near your throat if you can. Gaze to the tip of your nose, visualize Lord Surya in your inner space, and perform the Mula Bandha.
दोबो पगतली संपुट करे, शोले मेड़ आगा में धरे.
Next up is Chinaki Pavasana. Now sit and keep the heels together, toes apart, as you hold the feet and open them up like a book, bringing the backs of your hands onto the ground and the elbows pressing down on the thighs. Gaze at the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो बगांगी एड़ी धरती मगिवा मेड़ लगावे.
The next asana is Chadapata Chukasana. Sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels at your perineum. Open the knees and place your hands on top of the knees as you gently press them down. Pull your stomach in and up, gaze to your third eye as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दोबो पगतली संपुट धारे, आगा ने कर जार पसारे.
The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now sit and bring the soles of the feet together with your knees open wide. Lift the heels up and bring the toes down onto the ground. As you keep your knees on the ground, pull your stomach in and up and place your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra. Gaze to your third eye as you visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava.
उल्भव संपेड्य जान्योन्यं व्युत्क्रमेणोत्थितं शनैः.
The next asana is Samanasana. Now sit with one heel at the perineum. Lift and hold the other foot, pulling the sole of the foot to your chest. Gaze to your third eye as you perform the Mula Bandha and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
समान आसनमावक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनात्.
The next asana is Apanasana. As you sit, place one leg on top of the respective shoulder and raise the other foot upwards and straight. Keep the hands on the ground to the sides as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
परं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोपि यत्नतः.
Now repeat Samanasana on the other side. Bring the other heel towards your perineum and pull the opposite foot towards your chest.
समान आसनमावक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनात्.
Now repeat Apanasana on the other side. Bring the other leg over top of the respective shoulder, extending the opposite leg forward and up.
परं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोपि यत्नतः.
Next up is Gomukhasana. Now sit and cross one leg over the other, aligning the knees at the center of your body with the feet by the opposite hips. Place both hands on top of the stacked knees as you gaze to the nose, visualize the face of a cow, and perform the Mula Bandha. Start breathing in Siddhkari Kumbhaka, pressing your tongue against the palate of your mouth without touching the teeth and hissing through your teeth while inhaling. Internally chant the new japa Om Nityanandoham.
सर्वे दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
The next asana is Anasuyasana. Now maintain the same posture. Hold on to the big toes of the feet in Prana Mudra as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya. Engage Udyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
दक्षिण कोडो नीचो ठाने, वावोता के ऊपर आने.
Maintain the same position. Interlace your fingers behind your back and lean forward and down as you bring your chin over the knees, the nose towards the ground, and visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya in Anasuyasana too.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि, उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
The next asana is Garudasana too. Now sit on the ground with one heel pressed against the perineum. As you keep the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knee raised to your chest. Keep the hands on the respective knee. As you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, gaze to the nose and perform the Mula Bandha.
దావోపగమోడి ఏడి మాహిలో గుల్ఫ మూల ద్వారని చైదే
The next asana is Nadadasana. Now, sit and place your perineum on top of one heel as you interlace your fingers behind your neck and twist your elbows outside of the raised knee. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as Secunadada as you perform the Mula Bandha.
पिष्टिजवाम पगदली केरी भूपरिता हिलगा बेफेरी.
Next up is Matsya Pitakasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh. Wrap the respective arm around the knee, holding onto the opposite shin as you hold the big toes with the other hand in Prana Mudra. Visualize yourself as Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu, as you perform the Mula Bandha.
नवामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकम्.
Now slide your knees over top with the other knee on top, repeating the Gomukhasana position on the other side. Gaze to the nose and visualize the face of a cow as you keep hissing through your teeth without the tongue touching your teeth. In Siddhkari Kumbhaka.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
Next up is Anasuyasana on the other side. Hold onto the big toes as you visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya.
दक्षिण कोड़ो नीचो ठाने वावोता के ऊपर आने.
Now, from the same position, interlace your fingers behind your back and lean forward and down, chin over the knees, nose towards the ground in Anasuyasana too.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
Now repeat Garudasana 2 on the other side, bringing the other heel towards the perineum, knee raised, hands on the knees, as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
दावोपगमोडी एडी माहिलो गुल्फ मूल द्वारनी चैदे.
Next up is Narudasana on the other side. Raise the perineum onto the heel, interlace your fingers behind your neck, and twist your elbows outside of the raised knee, visualizing yourself as Sage Naruda.
पिष्टिजवाम पगदली केरी भूपरिता हिलगा बेफेरी.
Next up is Matsya Pitakasana on the other side. Now place the other foot on top of the opposite thigh. Hold on to the shin and the big toe of that foot as you visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकम्.
Next up is Matsindrasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thighs as you place the opposite foot on the ground, flat. Twist and bring the elbow outside of the raised knee. Keep your raised arm by the neck. Turn your head back and gaze to your third eye, visualizing Matsyendranath, the great sage and master of Hatha Yoga.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
The next asana is Kubhasana. From Matsyendrasana, twist and bring your elbow outside of the raised knee as you extend your hand down to the foot. Keeping the opposite hand at the respective ear, twist your body back, gaze back and up towards your third eye, visualizing yourself as a camel.
आसन को गुण झोल हो जाए.
Next up is Matsyendrasana 2. Keeping the hand extended down towards the foot, place your hand behind your body onto the ground as you gaze up to your third eye and visualize Matsyendranath.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now repeat Matsyendrasana on the other side. Extend the other leg out. Bring the opposite foot onto the thigh as you twist your elbow outside of the raised knee and gaze back.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्ततः.
The next asana is Kubhasana on the other side. Now hold on to the front big toe and prana mudra as you keep the other hand towards the respective ear, gazing back and up towards your third eye and visualizing yourself as a camel.
आसन को गुण झोल हो जाए.
The hand to the ground behind you, twist your body even further as you visualize Matsyendranath in Matsyendrasana 2.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
The next asana is Padmasana. Now place your feet on top of the opposite thighs as you keep your palms flat on the respective knees. Engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha, as you gaze to the tip of your nose. Visualize yourself as Lord Shiva. Breathe in Sitali Kumbhaka, now pressing your tongue against the back of the teeth, hissing while inhaling as you internally chant the new japa Om Nityananda Mahasada Shivoham.
आसनं द्विविधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
The next asana is Padmasana 2. As you sit in Padmasana, cross your hands in front of your body and hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Gaze to the nose, visualize yourself as Goddess Parvati, the consort of Shiva, as you perform the Mula Bandha.
तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा ऊरू संस्थो प्रयत्नतः.
The next asana is Kukutasana. Now sitting in Padmasana, place your hands on the ground between the two thighs as you lift your body up off the ground. Visualize yourself as a rooster as you breathe calmly in Sahajra Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha.
पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य नान्बोरौरन्तरे करौ.
The next asana is Baddha Keki Asana. From Padmasana, raise up onto the knees as you bring your hands flat on the ground with the fingers pointing backwards. Keep the elbows together, press them against the navel, and then lean forward. Find balance and extend your knees up off the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
धरामवष्टभ्यकरद्वयेन तत्पूर्वपरि स्थापिता नाभिपार्श्वः.
The next asana is Mayurasana. While on your knees, place your palms on the ground with the fingers pointing backwards. Keep your elbows at the navel, lean back, lean forward, find balance and extend your legs up off the ground, visualizing yourself as a peacock as you perform the Sahajra Kumbhaka and engage the Mula Bandha.
अथ वक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमम्.
Next up is Makarasana. Lay down on your stomach with the feet pointing outwards and the forehead on the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your neck. As you visualize yourself as a crocodile and perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसाद्यमानौ.
As you lay on your stomach, place your hands on the ground beside your chest. Raise your legs up, bring the thighs off the ground, visualizing yourself as a locust. In Shalabhasana.
अध्यासशेते करयुग्मवक्षो भूमिमवष्टभ्य करयोस्तलाभ्याम्.
The next asana is Ushtrasana. As you lay on your stomach, bring your hands to the feet. Pull the feet down towards the ground outside of your hips. As you visualize yourself as a camel and perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते पदयुग्मव्यस्तं पृष्ठे निधाय विधृतं कराभ्याम्.
The next asana is Dhanurasana. From Ushtrasana, tighten the grip on your feet and kick the legs back and up as you lean forward and lift your chest off the ground. Gaze up to your third eye and visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow. Perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
त्रिसार्यपादौ भुविदण्डरूपौ करौ च पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मम्.
The next asana is Bhagasana. Now come to a kneeling position with your feet flat on the ground, sitting in between the two heels. Place your hands on top of the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Breathe calmly through your nose in Sahasrara Kumbhaka. As you gaze to your third eye, contract the perineal region in Mula Bandha and internally chant Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
उल्टा मोड़ी पाओ तो वैसे बहुरो जुगते करे कैसे.
The next asana is Gohi Asana. From the kneeling position, place your elbows on the ground, shoulder width apart. As you interlace your fingers, bring your head towards the ground and hold it with your hands. Now raise your hips up. Walk your feet forward until your hips align with your shoulders. And then raise your legs up off the ground and pull the knees close to your chest. Try to touch your chin with the knees as you roll your body up in the inverted posture. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो हाथ की कहुनी जोई पुनिह कलाजी जाने दोई.
Now, from Gohi Asana, extend your legs up straight into Shirshasana. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विधैव विदितं हिनः.
Gently lower your body down and come to a seated posture. Now sit with your hands behind your calves and stretch your legs up. Bring your forehead to the knees as you come to a vertical position with your legs. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Bhastika Kumbhaka, rapidly exhaling from your diaphragm, pushing the air out without inhaling, like the bellows of a blacksmith. We're going to perform Bhastika Kumbhaka for the next few asanas, so keep your core engaged and rapidly breathe through your nose.
दो हाथ पग बाहर आने घोड़ा तरे काकसी ठाने.
The next asana is Parighasana. Now sit and extend your legs out and up at a 45-degree angle. Bring your hands behind. Hold the opposite shoulders as you keep the chest upright, legs straight, toes pointed. Gaze to your third eye as you visualize yourself as a mace.
उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य.
Keep breathing rapidly as you sit and extend your legs out and up at a 45-degree angle. Keep your arms parallel to the ground or bring them down to the ground as you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a boat in Naukasana.
तानसेनं कुर्पराभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्य.
Next up is Rudrasana. Now sit and lift your feet up. Scoop your hands under the heels and pull the feet towards your chest. Keep your spine upright, gaze to the nose as you visualize yourself as Lord Rudra. Perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
पगदली सम्पूटकैहातस्योपक उचायी.
The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana too. Now lay down on your back with the feet flat on the ground, the knees raised up. Bring your palms down to the ground with the fingers just touching the back of your heels. Lift your hips up high. Press the feet into the ground as you tuck your chin to the chest, gaze to the nose, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवित्वोर्ध्वमुखं तथा उत्थाप्य हस्तौ तिष्ठेत्तु पीठ उन्मुखनामके.
Now lower your body down flat onto the ground. Keep the palms facing up next to your hips. As you contract the perineal region and forcefully pull the Kundalini Shakti up along your spine towards your Sahasrara Chakra in Shakti Chalan Mudra. Relax. Completely unclutch from any micro movements of the body and mind. As you visualize that your body is dead and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, is liberating you. Internally chant the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Parama Shivoham.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तोषवासनं शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्. 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 ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्.
Now slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Pull your knees up towards your chest and rock your body from side to side as you return to a comfortable seated position. With this, let us conclude the Nityananda Yoga session as you sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line.
But he tells me speak in the mic and then he does these tricks. Okay. So that concludes. We're going to have a beautiful lunch right now. So enjoy. Just so you guys know, particularly new guys, doing this yoga will really open you up. If you feel any emotion coming up at any point here or after you go home, just let the emotion come out. Because the really strong energy of this practice, this yoga practice, and this temple itself, it pushes out all the negativity that we have living inside. So if you feel anything come up, don't think it's something wrong. It's something right. It's leaving you. On the way out, it's waving goodbye. That's all. Okay? Once it's gone, it's gone. It won't come back. Okay? So that's what the yoga practice does. It really supports emotional healing, emotional completion, emotional catharsis. So if that happens, it's really auspicious. It's very positive. And over time, those of us who do this practice regularly and live this lifestyle, all the repressed emotion, everything held inside, all the toxins in the body, it all comes out. So the mind just becomes quiet. You know how it's going, pop, 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 this, that. It just becomes quiet. There's nothing left except intense bliss, intense awareness, intense compassion, and the impersonal divine love for everyone and everything. So it's a really beautiful practice. So thank you guys so much for coming. As I said, we're going to have lunch. A couple things I'll share. We're going to resume doing yoga here. I think this room is so beautiful. We have the books nicely to the side, so much space. It's really lovely. So we're going to resume every Sunday at 10 a.m., checking in at like 9:30 and starting at 10, without the videos and all, just going right into yoga. Every Sunday at 10 a.m. And then there's going to be a class on completion, emotional healing and completion, will be around noon. So you can come for yoga and do completion. That'll be a regular thing starting in July. Okay? Yeah, it's a really nice way to spend a Sunday. And then the other thing, particularly for people who are new, our guru has a program called Paramashiva Sena, which is a very beautiful, intense, rigorous, extremely healing program. It's being held in Antigua, so that's not it's not a bad place to go, right? So it's held in beautiful Antigua and Barbados. Program is completely free. People who go, they're paying for their room and board, but the program itself is totally free, and there's direct connection with the guru. Means direct talking to, messaging, getting blessings directly from the guru, very intensively, which you won't get anywhere else. It's a very unique, beautiful experience. So if anyone wants to go, feel free to talk to us. It's the month. So like July, the July one is set in Antigua, right? So 1st of July to the end of July. So some of you guys I think are going. It's a really amazing program, so I strongly recommend it. So that concludes the yoga part. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anything you want to share? Yes. Yeah. 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 And this one they're chanting a mantra with each asana. There's other videos where they chant a fuller mantra and the whole thing. It's all Sanskrit. For those of you who don't know, who are relatively new, Sanskrit is the language they speak in the higher dimensions. So when we chant Sanskrit, they've done all sorts of research on it. Your brain becomes, the structure of your brain changes, and your capacity for memory changes, and your emotional well-being enhances greatly. So they're chanting the actual mantras from the actual Vedas and Agamas where these movements are handed down. That's why these movements feel so good, because they're connecting us with that higher dimension. So yeah, great. Cool. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming. It's been a true pleasure to have you. We'll be resuming, as I said, in July every Sunday. So come make this part of your Sunday tradition. And I would recommend all you, particularly who are new, just think of this place as this temple and this ecosystem as a place to just come, enjoy, feel blissful, heal, release pent-up things, and go blissfully towards enlightenment. So that's what we're here for, okay? All right, thank you so much. Nityanandam.